I know I could play it. Should we play it? Let's play it. Let's play it, or we can all watch it.
What's up, guys? Staysafe here. So, you might have noticed that starting about 2 months ago when Blackwing Lair came out and launched in Classic WoW, around 2 months ago, login queues came back to Classic WoW at least a couple nights a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Saturday also. And now, with everyone being locked indoors and forced to stay inside, not a good situation, and with also Phase 4 being on the horizon, Zul'Grub and World Dragons, login queues are astronomically high, reaching 4 or 5 hours a night, every night of the week on some servers. I think most servers right now probably have login queues to some extent, but today I've been sitting in this queue for maybe 2 hours already. This is like a 4-hour queue on a Saturday evening on Fairlina, at least. That's my server, and this isn't even the worst server as far as login queues go. Now, I mentioned login queues because there is a very large contributing factor exacerbating this issue. And I'm not saying it's the sole and only cause of the login issues. There's obviously, we're talking about the pandemic and lockdown and stuff like this, Phase 4 hype. There's a lot of things contributing, but this is definitely one big issue that I think right now is the right time to talk about. And it's, like I said, it's not the only issue, but it's making things worse, and it is definitely a contributing factor. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about multiboxing. I think that everyone that plays Classic WoW has encountered multiboxers at some point to some degree. They're becoming very, very prevalent, meaning that the number of multiboxers and multiboxed characters is increasing every single day. You see them literally all over the goddamn place. I don't know if it's just Fairlina. I imagine it's not the case. I think they're on every server, very, very popular. And this is such a foreseeable, glaring problem and issue for vanilla WoW gameplay as a whole that even on private servers, despite all of the things that they got wrong and all of the sketchy behavior on private servers, even private servers said, no, listen, we're not going to allow this. At most, you can have one character running around actually doing things.
Because there's a subscription.
This means farming gold or leveling or running to a dungeon, whatever. Then you can have one bank.
I mean, because there's no subscription on private servers.
Character sitting in a capital city, maybe doing auctions or managing your bank or taking care of the mailbox. That's it. Just 2 characters, one in the world and one in the capital city. This means you can't have 20 shamans on follow running around one-shotting people, or 40 shamans, or 5 priests and 15 mages, or whatever the wombo combo is. So I think most people would agree that running around one-shotting players with 20 multi-box shamans is lame and just sort of bad for the general feel of the game.
Who's that?
But whatever, it's tolerable. But now it's at a point that login queues are so high that players are people that are multi-boxing several characters are actually preventing other players from logging in and just, casually playing the game and enjoying themselves. So you might be asking yourself why Blizzard allows multi-boxers in the first place, despite the various obvious in-game downsides and I'm going to say semi-pay-to-win aspect of multi-boxing, what with world PvP and one-shotting people and whatever. Really, I think it gets more into the pay-to-win field with multi-boxing when you start talking about, like, for example, strat live farming. Seriously, log into your server if you can, if there's not a login queue, and just around the clock, do /who strat 60, and you'll find tons of ungilded groups consisting of 4 mages and 1 priest. The ratio is always almost exactly that. If you look at the ungilded mages and ungilded priests, the ratio is always 4 to 1. They're in 5-man groups, and they are multi-box AoE farming strat live for insane gold per hour. It's actually crazy gold per hour. So this is happening on every single server around the clock.
True,
I think it was Willie, the YouTuber, who made a video. I think it was him. Sorry if it's not him. I think it was him that made a video talking about this and sort of shining light on this. It's astounding, actually. It's happening on like an industrial scale on every single server, and it's allowed because of multi-boxing. Anyway, so why does Blizzard allow multi-boxers? It's absurd. Why does Blizzard allow them? Because Blizzard knows that multi-boxers are going to pay for it. That's literally it. That's why. Blizzard is just letting these multi-boxers bleed money to pay for their subscriptions each month for all their multi-box characters, despite the very negative downsides that it has on the game, on the in-game. in-game economy, in-game whatever.
Yeah, Staysafe from latest video.
But Staysafe, I'm a multi-box and I
Yeah.
log into retail WoW to farm gold so I can pay for my WoW tokens so I can pay for my multi-box character game time. Like, yeah, you can do that. It's possible, but no, you don't. Like, if you're a multi-box and you're listening, you don't do that. Everyone knows you don't do that. And if you actually are, you're in the extreme minority of multi-boxers, and it doesn't excuse it. It's still super detrimental to Classic WoW having multi-boxers running around owning everyone. Like, yeah, and by the way, yeah, I know you can deal with you can throw a grenade at them. Yeah, I know. I'm not saying it's impossible to deal with multi-boxers. Does that make it less detrimental? No, multi-boxing is bad for this game. We're talking about world PvP. We're talking about gold farming. Multi-boxing is bad for the game. There's no two ways about it. In a perfect world, multi-boxing would not be allowed. Anyway, listen, here's the deal. With the login queue thing, back to login queues. For every guy that multi-boxes 5 characters, that's 4 login slots, whatever you want to call it, that are taken from another just average normal player that's sitting at their PC with nothing to do, just wanting to log in and have a humble gamer adventure in Classic WoW. And I use the example of 5 multi-boxed characters because that's probably the most common, like what you see just people doing, running around with 5 multi-boxed characters. You see, you know, like I said, 4 mages, 1 priest, or 5 shamans, or whatever. But, excuse me, there are tons of people, seriously, there are tons of people multi-boxing 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 characters all at once. I see them literally every day. I see them every day.
More than 20?
And if you haven't seen multi-boxers, maybe you need to leave the capital city. They're in the capital city too.
I've been multi-boxing
I can't imagine anyone has not seen multi-boxers. Maybe if you play on the smallest, least popular server in the entire world of Classic WoW, then you might not have seen them. But dude, they're everywhere. And you have to imagine that, you know, on Fairlina at least, there are so the queue. I've been sitting in this queue for a couple hours already. There's 1,500 people. You're looking at it right now. 111 minutes left. Okay, I gotta wait for 1,500 people to log out so I can log in. Genuinely. I'm being sincere. There are several hundred multi-boxed characters on Fairlina right now. So imagine that if multi-boxing was just poof, it was gone. If Blizzard just said, hey, multi-boxers, gone, not allowed. You know, the queue, I'm not saying it would get rid of the queue, but the queue might be 1,100 or maybe 1,000. There are, sincerely, and I know this because I play Classic WoW all day, every day. I'm a complete no-life. There are, sincerely, several hundred multi-box characters running around. I don't want to say 1,000. I'm not going to say that, but there are several hundred multi-box characters in the world running around doing stuff.
He's got some cold, hard facts there.
And by the way, I just want to clarify. This isn't a personal attack at any individual that has been multi-boxing. It has always been allowed. Blizzard has always allowed multi-boxing, even in 2004, in Classic WoW, in Vanilla WoW, TBC, Wrath. It's always been allowed. Blizzard has never said it's against the rules. So I'm not throwing any shade at people that are multi-boxing. It's always been allowed, and they're not breaking any rules. I'm not mad at the multi-boxers, genuinely. I just think it's a stupid rule that Blizzard should change. I'm requesting that Blizzard do something about this, not the multi-boxers themselves. I'm not saying multi-boxers, you should feel bad. You should stop multi-boxing, because they're playing perfectly within the confines of the game, of the rules within the game, okay? It's not their fault. I'm just saying Blizzard should look at this and say, this situation is out of hand. It's absurd. We're going to do something about this. And there's a couple different options, but I think Blizzard has to get a hold of the situation because it's damaging and ridiculous. Seriously, at least during the stay-at-home order, however long this lasts, couple weeks, couple months, maybe consider at least limiting account logins to 2 or 3 accounts logged in at once per IP. Sorry. I'm not even going to say only 1 account. That's my dream situation. 1 account per IP. Knock it down to 2 or 3 per IP. 2, 3 accounts per IP. It might not seem like a lot, but it would definitely help just get people into the game and actually play rather than sitting.
Imagine if like you're all indoors, right, and you've got like a family, I don't know, like 5 people, and you all play Classic together. Family of 5 people on the same IP.
In a queue.
And they did that.
For hours, while knowing that some guy is currently logged into World of Warcraft on 20 shamans, waiting in Blackrock Mountain, waiting to one-shot people, listening to Disturbed in his mom's basement. Okay, like it.
Wait, what?
Do you see? Listening to Disturbed in his mom's basement to the game and actually play rather than sitting in a queue for hours, while knowing that some guy is currently logged into World of Warcraft on 20 shamans, waiting in Blackrock Mountain, waiting to one-shot people. or 3 per IP, 2, 3 accounts per IP. It might not seem like a lot, but it would definitely help just get people into the game and actually play rather than sitting in a queue for hours while knowing that some guy is currently logged into World of Warcraft on 20 shamans waiting in Blackrock Mountain waiting to one-shot people.
Wait. It's exactly what I'm doing right now. But I need to put some Disturbed on.
Listening to Disturbed in his mom's basement, okay? Like, it... do you see my point? It just kind of feels bad sitting in a queue for several hours knowing that some guy is currently logged in with 30 accounts. Right? Just taking up space. Now, I'm really curious what you guys know about I'm curious what you guys think about this multi-boxer issue in Classic WoW. Is it an issue? Is it not an issue? Do you guys even care at all? I'm going to be totally honest. I've always been very hesitant to ever comment on the multi-boxer issue.
Thank you for watching my video. You should kill me at Thursday at 19 on Fairlina.
Because I haven't wanted to sound, frankly, like a whiny little bitch that just got killed by a multi-boxer and I'm going to go complain about it. But at this point, I know that normal people are having a hard time logging in due to the insane login queues that everyone's experienced right now on every server. So I figure if there's ever a time to complain about multi-boxing, it's probably now, when the big issue is not that they're one-shotting people or whatever, or farming gold or whatever. The issue is, like, people just need to be able to log into the game, you know? And bring this to myself. Okay, I have unlimited free time. I play WoW full-time, okay? If I have to sit in a queue for 2 hours, it's not the end of the world. I'm really not that angry about it, but tons of people have... Let me put it this way. A lot of your guys' free time is worth more than mine, okay? I have a lot of free time, so... There are people that can only play WoW for 3 or 4 hours a day, whatever. They have a job, they have a family, and they're getting cock blocked. They can't log in. So I'm not saying multi-boxing is the only issue that's contributing to login queues, but it would definitely help. Blizzard, take a look at it. That's all I'm asking. Okay, and like I said, it doesn't have to be end all be all. Okay, maybe you have a fix only for a couple months during lockdown when everyone's stuck at home, they're trying to play, and maybe you don't get rid of multi-boxing entirely. Maybe you just limit it to 2 or 3 accounts per IP, or maybe
I just can't get over that. IP limit to 2 or 3 accounts per IP. Like that just I don't know.
Maybe even 5. Try 5. Okay, so you might take a look and say, all right, you know, if we stopped multi-box logins over 5 accounts, so we're stopping people that are playing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 characters at one time, we would actually get rid of several hundred people. Okay, Blizzard has the stats, so Blizzard can look and say, all right, if we did that, we'd get rid of several hundred players logged in on the servers, which would open up a lot of slots for normal players. If we just locked it down to 5 accounts.
I mean, the average, like, family... So say if a family played WoW, right? Group of 5 for a family, they don't know about VPNs, do they? I mean, like a mum, dad, and 3 kids or whatever.
Per IP. I mean, Blizzard has the stats for this. I don't. All I'm saying is take a look at it. I think it's an issue. It's obviously not an ideal situation. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this. Drop a comment below. Like the video if you liked it. If you disliked it, dislike it. But you should all like the video. Thank you. Guys, thanks for watching. Let me know. I'm actually very sincerely curious what you guys think about this. Thanks for watching. And as always, stay safe.
Leave a comment. Here's mine. It says, actually molding. Pepe laugh fading hairline. He pointed at you, Switcher. Alright. Sorry we had to sit through that, but yeah. We got some songs to play apparently. Do you know if this is fucking Disturbed? And